How does it indicate moving? By the counter?
Now look at the tape itself in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not talking yet, right?
No, you're on.
This is our office at PDC. We moved into in April 1981 in beautiful Brisbane. Upgraded our facilities as we moved from 633rd Street in San Francisco. We have 59,083 square feet in this building. And we're going to take a quick walk through to show our wonderful operation. We're moving into the front door, as all our visitors would come into to see our wonderful operation. As we move into our operation, we see some of our wonderful employees right off the bat. Our wonderful receptionist, Ione. Hello, Ione.
Hello.
Isn't this wonderful? Visitors feel comfortable here right away. And here's one of our favorite secretaries.
Oh, how about that?
Mamie. Hello, Mamie.
Happy May Day.
How are you doing? We're lucky here. We have May Day. This area, as we come into the area, is our typing pool. Fast, efficient, accurate. As we come into this office, the balloons are not here every day. But as we come into this office, this is the regional director's office, Rock Klum. Rock's been with the company for 10 years and is the regional director of the Central Region. He's a ski buff. As we move this way, we move into the office of the manager of initial distribution and manager of marketing operations. Excuse me a minute, gentlemen. We're in the process of filming. 60 minutes. This is Dale Shelton, our manager of initial distribution. Dale's been here for almost 5 years and does just a wonderful job. His office is just wonderful. We're going to go this way. That's right. We're getting upstairs later. So we move along here. This is Dale's administrative assistant, Adrian. Hi, Adrian.
Hi there.
Having fun on your job.
Oh,
aren't you?
yeah.
Probably a little overpaid, but
No.
the challenge
Wait a
is
minute,
exciting.
I beg to differ with that.
And as we move back here, we have our section supervisor's desk. She's not here today. And we move back into our word processing operation. In May of 1981, Product Development Corporation bought out a small word processing service, Stonehenge Services, and it started converting some of its in-house applications to word processing as well as marketing to outside customers. We have our Xerox machine, our cutting room, and part of our preparation for lift in this area. Move back this way. We move back into the central area of the clerical operations. This is the clerical operations, and we look in here and we see the manager of clerical operations, but she's not in the office. Beautiful office. She happens to be out here on the work floor, working, analyzing the work, doing a comparative analysis of what it's all about. And Phyllis, nice to see you today.
Nice to see you, Rock.
Good. Phyllis has been here more years than she cares to mention. Always been one of our key employees and most lovely. As we move this way, straight back, to the left is the routing department. They route all of the people who deliver for us, get their routes put in wonderful, fantastic order. So it makes it very, very easy to deliver. And in this area is our list preparation department. When the primary directories are first run, the lists come in here and they're put in wonderful, wonderful delivery order. Very fast, very efficient, as most of our operations are. You can see we have a lot of very bright, very happy employees. Yeah, some of them are happy. We move on back in the area, and this area here generally is what we call the proofing of the D12s. It's a non-contract clerical work that we do for Pacific Telephone and have been doing for very, very many years. And we move on back. All of this general area back here is non-contract clerical. Proofing of D12s, proofing of P&B work, proofing the dim list, and other assorted projects. In the back, in the very corner, is our section supervisor for this whole general area, Wilma White. And the most important part of the office today is our Happy May Day cake. Every year since the creation of this company in May of 1949, we've had a celebration at PDC to celebrate our anniversary date. That's as we come back into this area, we have more of our clerical operations, and in this area we have our telephone check and updating department. All of the records as they're delivered to get better addresses for next year's delivery, we do a telephone check to the customers to obtain better addresses. We also receive incoming calls for prospective distributors. Move back into this area. We move back in a rapidly changing part of our business, the miscellaneous services department. In this area, all of the customers who order telephone directories other than their primary delivery order, the order is processed from this office. Also, the very first office in this room is our purchasing officer's office, Fred Kamba. Fred also fills in and helping out the mailroom department, so he has a viewpoint so he can see right through to the mailroom to pass orders and to communicate with some of the employees in that department. As we move back in this department, you can see a library of local books. You can also see a lot of paperwork, because there is a lot of paperwork in this area. We have one of our wonderful happy clerks here, Maria Vadeshi, who is in the process of putting labels on street address directory deliveries. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
How you doing?
Fine.
And one of our very, very old-time, wonderful workers who is just as valuable as can be, Florence. Hello, Florence.
Hi, how's everything?
You're enjoying sorting those orders, aren't you? Absolutely. She loves that work. She'd work Saturdays if we'd let her. Which, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How about you?
You doing anything?
Who's in cross-switching this orders?
Very good. Very good. As we move back in this area, we have our manager of miscellaneous services, Dick Shelton. And Dick's been with our company for about 3.5 years now. And Dick also has San Jose and Sacramento operations reporting to him. He also, as you can see, has a viewpoint through, since these employees in the mailroom report directly to him. It looks like he also has some crazy artist here who did a little rendition of, I think, him in happier moments. Doing his job, I guess. And as we move back in this area to the left is a big improvement over our last building. Is this street address directory room. And we're able to secure our street address directories, which are very confidential, in a very secure place, and also be close enough to the regular clerical area so that we can do the paperwork and go back and forth with the books, and also maintain the security that's required. Move out of this office. This is the clerical portion again of the miscellaneous services department. And as these orders are processed in, sorted, put into applicable order, then they come out to the miscellaneous services warehouse. Actually, this is the mailroom portion of the warehouse. And in this area, the orders are sorted again, assigned to the various workers, and then the orders are picked in a very efficient, organized manner to provide the customer with the directories. And we have our shop foreman here, a very eager, enthusiastic, young papa. Joe, how you doing?
Oh, not bad. How you doing, Ron? Dick,
Just
how you
great.
doing behind the camera there?
We're surveying your operation on camera. As we move over to this area, as you can see, and looking back, the orders are, the books in this area are laid out for the most efficient picking means. To the far left, and we're going to move over in that direction at this point, And we're going to move around the plastic machine, and we'll come back and take a look at this area in depth later. But as the shop foreman takes the orders, sorts them in, assigns the work, then each employee goes out and picks the order by grouping the book. And in this area, we have the main users for this area, the Northern California books that are basically represent 80% of the orders, picked in an easy fashion close to the assembly line. In this general area out here, these are large directories, large cities, Houston, Chicago, etc., etc. And in these other areas, going back on an alphabetical basis in descending order, will be the other directories, alphabetical by state. That'll be in most of the picking. As these orders are picked, the orders come back. The label, after it comes back from typing, is put in with the order. The order is selected as to what's the most efficient from a cost standpoint method of placing the order, either UPS or mail or freight. The order then is weighed. The order is turned over to make and noted that it's been processed. The order then is stacked with the assembly line. This, for instance, is one large order for one customer. So we come over here, here's another order. These will be pushed onto the conveyor belt, and they will come down the conveyor belt, whereas this line runs, will go through the plastic machine to be wrapped and available for shipping. On the other side of this belt, so we can maximize both sides for most efficient operation, is the standing order operation. These are the customers that get these books on a regular basis each month, our standing orders. We get an extraction list, we pull those orders, we group those books, and we handle them in basically the same fashion as we do a daily order. And that's what that area is. Both books are put on the assembly line, come down the conveyor belt. If the order is extremely large, then that order will be string tied. It will be pushed through the plastic machine as a sheet of plastic will wrap over the package. It goes through a shrink tunnel. As that tunnel, very hot, shrinks that plastic around the package, and it will come back. So we can have one man here push it through, receive the package back here, take the package as it comes back over here, and place the package in the bulk mailing container. And this will go out the door and go to the bulk mailing center. This plastic machine is a Weldotron, one of the latest state-of-art pieces of equipment. And you can see this galvanized hood that goes over it. This will take any fumes, exhaust that comes out of the machine, gases, and take that and pull that to the roof and out of the building, so there will be no harm for our employees. Over in this area, you can see some general supplies as they relate to the plastic machine. These are various sizes of rolls of plastic that are inserted into the machine and are the plastic that are used to wrap the packages. In this area are again some repair pieces of equipment for the machine, heater banks and other various sundry equipment to keep the machine operable at all times. In this area you can see some labels, string tie, and other assorted supplies. As we leave the mail room, we take one last look back. Yep, everybody's working. Okay, we're moving into another area. And we're moving into the main area of the warehouse. And we're right now you can see our Toyota forklift and our driver, Dick Turney, moving some of the new San Mateo County telephone directories in and putting them in their regular place. Now we're going to move down this roll, and as you can see, some new telephone directories have just arrived and are being put in their permanent place for easy inventory control and picking. And as we move back towards the loading dock, and these are where all of these directories that are printed come into our operation by one means of carrier or another. Independence, most of them come from Viking. And as we come to our loading area, we can see, especially from our old building, we have many improvements. Number one, we have a windbreak around, which will certainly help the wind and also will help in a rainy situation. We'll be able to pull the truck right in and unload without damaging or creating wet, damaged books. On here you can see a loading dock leveler, which will allow us to change the floor level equivalent to the level of the truck and be able to move our forklift in and out very efficiently. Over here, up here, is a light, so that in a very rainy day or for any reason we might be unloading at night, we can take this light, put it right into the truck, and that creates a real safety factor for us. And over here we have another loading dock. We have two loading docks, two dock levelers, and you can see this is a truck that has just been empty with the telephone directories that are right over here. And we also maintain supplies of pallets. When the books come in, we use the pallets, we keep them, and return them back to the telephone company. These are some empty bulk mailing containers. And over in the corner is our portable loading dock. Sometimes when the variance between the level of our dock and the truck is very, very steep, we pull the portable dock leveler over and use that so we can drive our forklift into the load. Over in the corner is a receiving desk for our warehouseman. He logs in the orders there, does some of his book work, making sure that the orders verify his shipping instructions. This over here is our pay telephones for our employees, a storage area for our accounting department so they can keep their supplies in a safe, secure area. And you can see the fire exit for the upstairs operation, which we'll see later. We're going to take a quick walk through the warehouse to get an idea. We feel that this type of layout is by far the most efficient for our types of operations. It basically has high ceilings, so that should our storage needs appreciably increase, we'll be able to go higher rather than finding a new building, which is extremely expensive. You can see that the warehouse is basically laid out in a very organized fashion so that we know exactly where every book is, and we can inventory quickly and efficiently. We can also pull these books into the work area as needed. In the far background, if we should ever go to freight loading and we need rail access, we have rail doors that can be opened, and we could access a spur track back there. We also have some equipment that we're not currently using being stored in that area. This over here, this is a compressor that creates the power for the plastic machine inside the mailroom. You're looking at the outside structure of the mailroom right now as we move back through the warehouse. Again, having our warehouse for the first time in 20 years on one floor certainly creates a great deal of efficiency. These directories that are back in this area, again, are the books from Northern California that are most used inside and can be moved through that door in a very quick fashion. We move back through the warehouse. And we're just going to take a quick walk through here. We have in this area some of our packed shelving. So we created some of these books that are used 10% of the time and put them again in alphabetical order. And we've used some of our cubicle space with the pack racks. So we move back here. We also use from time to time pallet jacks. We also have a Walkie Joe portable walkie stacker that we use from time to time. So we move back in this area. This is all general storage and all in alphabetical order. And as volumes increase, we can continue in this building to use the cube space above. We're moving back through here. As you can see, the area is laid out in a organized fashion, again alphabetical for easy picking, again using the space to its maximum advantage. As we move back to this area, we approach the area that's designated as our foreign library. And I say foreign, mean foreign, out of country. And in this area, we have directories for all over the world: Australia, England, Argentina, and any other country you can think of: Japan, China, Germany, Canada. Back in this area, this is all of the foreign library. And as we move back, we're seeing now the south portion of our office. And these doors that we're looking at now are the other side of the street address directory doors. We can open these doors and forklift the directories in to that location in a very easy fashion. Over to the left is some storage space we use as a follow-up for our updating telephone check. So as these delivery routes come back from the field, the updating is completed, they're stacked in uniform, labeled fashion, ready to go back to the telephone company. And as we move back into this area, along the right wall, there's all those wood encounterment, is the supply area. We have our supplies under lock and key to maintain the most effective inventory control for our supplies, which becomes a very heavy-duty cost item. And as we go back here, he was not in his office, so we find him out doing an inventory control of our supplies. We find one of our most famous and comical members of our management team, Fred Comba, and I'm sure he'll stop and say a word.
You're putting me on, Rock. Thank you.
Do you know the one about the astronaut?
Yeah.
The midget?
We've beat that to death already.
And as we move back down this area, we again see some roll-up doors. And one of our areas of operation is that we have a hand delivery unit that is able to come in the morning, take the orders, and this is a work area over here, as the orders during the day can be picked, put together, and ready for them. These workers can bring their cars in during the day, put their orders together, and then drive out the doors and deliver in San Francisco, Oakland, and our major metropolitan areas. We have a string tie machine to be able to tie the large orders out here, and this area works out very, very well. So we move over this way. As you might imagine and can see, we use a lot of plastic and have a lot of plastic residue, and we bag that and we sell that to a extruder for reuse. As we come back into this area, one of the original selling points for getting extra square footage was to be able to sublease some of the space in this building, which is almost totally used for Pacific Telephone, except for this area. And this area right here is Real Estate Data and Company. They're a firm that sells, produces, and we have contracted to deliver real estate aerial maps, real estate map volumes, microfiche readers, microfiche itself throughout Northern California. And again, we have stored the product on shelves in a alphabetical manner. You can see over here we've got our general work area where we take the directories, we service the viewers, we break down the directories, we take out the used paper, we sell that used paper and take the binders and send them back to this Miami-based corporation. This area is approximately 3,000 square feet that Real Estate Data pays approximately $810 a month to Pacific Telephone for their use. Over here is another area that we use in some way as a non-contract work. We do some cigarette sampling from time to time, some high street gum sampling, and other various distributions of new products, mainly for Donnelly Marketing Corporation. And this area is a supply area and again a staging area for that type of operation. Some of the other supplies for doing those sundry operations is in this area. This is one of our employee bulletin boards that keeps our employees well informed about local state regulations and various company memos. As we move back into this area, we see our lunchroom for our employees to have their lunch, relax, socialize, drink coffee, smoke cigarettes, whatever. A couple of old refrigerators, a little microwave oven, and a lot of other stuff. What is that? And some of our employees preparing for May Day. What is that?
This is going to be the Queen's Cake.
Queen's Cape. Every company has a queen. We have several. We have one of the facilities that also assists our employees in being relieved. This is the men's restroom, which compared to our old operation is... this is our men's restroom, and it's extremely improved from our other operation. Very functional and clean. We're going to move back down this hallway towards the main clerical area. And as we do, opposite the men's restroom, what would you suspect? The women's restroom. We won't go in. We have a lot of women in there now. And we'll move to the left again. We have, of course, some of these storage racks that store some of our records, our supplies, for use in the general clerical area. As we move back into the front area and the typing pool, we'll move all the way into the front. And in our display cabinet here, we have some of the directories, some of the larger directories that we deliver for Pacific Telephone. And above the cabinet, we have some of our employees who have participated, and we have sponsored Pacific Telephone teams for over the... We're moving up the stairs to the mezzanine, rails for safety. As we come up to the second level, the first area that we'll move into on the right will be the office of the chairman of the board, W.B. Klum Sr., who founded Product Development Corporation. That's his office. He travels extensively between regions, and on personal business, he's somewhat retired, although still very active in the business. So we move across from his office, we move into our conference room when we have some of our meetings, supervisors meeting, client meetings. We're able to come into this room and use it in privacy. We have a phone, speakerphone, table, and a blackboard so that we can diagram some of our work. So we move to the left, we find a field supervisor's office, which is almost always messy and is almost always empty, because these are the people who run the delivery stations for primary distributions and are normally on the road. They come in here, make up their book report, finalize the paperwork, pick up the supplies, and plan for their next job, and are only in here for a day or two. Currently, we have one doing the San Mateo North book, we have one doing the San Mateo Central book, and we have others on various assignments. So we move down the hallway. The second office on the right will be the office of the president of our company, Woody Klum. Woody commutes between Glendale and Brisbane office, usually spending 2 to 3 days in this office. Unfortunately, today he's in Glendale. As we move back down this hallway, we come to the office of one of our corporate officers, treasurer, secretary, and he may have other titles we don't even know about, Wilbur Morgan. Hello, Wilbur.
Hello, Rock.
How are you doing? Nice to see you with your desk clear, reading about high-level decision-making processes. Wilbur has a viewpoint into the accounting area so that he can observe their operations. So we move back out this hallway. We'll move to the right and take a quick view of the accounting area. Our accounting department out of the Brisbane office act as a corporate headquarters for accounting for the Western operations. They do the accounting and they do the payroll for P&B work, for Mountain States, for Southern region in a partial basis, and for the Central region. As we take a quick diversion to the left side, we come into a room that basically has been left empty with a temporary wall for the hopes that we might soon have a computer operation for answering calls from customers who are requesting directories through the miscellaneous services area. At the current time, we're doing a out-of-state charging clerical operation up in this area as an overload. We're going to move back down this area into the accounting area. And in the accounting area we have the files and plants and ledger records and all of the other things you would normally associate with accounting. And over here we have our newest play toy for the accounting. We have an Apple III, and the accounting manager is in the process of converting some of the in-house manual projects onto the Apple III. We've started doing semi-monthly payroll. We're doing some of the works in process and some of the other accounts. This is in the very formative stages, and we'll expand this extensively as we move along. We have the printer that's associated with that. We have more filing records. We have, so we move back in this area. Always in the back of the room, it seems that our supervisor, we have our payroll supervisor, Benson Huey, one heck of a playmaker. Hi, Benson. How you doing?
Ready to play again.
He's ready to play again. He ought to be thinking about working. He's already thinking about his basketball career. I think he's going to make more money here than he is in his basketball career. We move into this area, and this is our storage vault, where all our key records for up to 3 years are maintained in a confidential manner. We're going to move back down another hallway, and up on the mezzanine floor we have a women's restroom, and of course we have a fire extinguisher. We have a small men's restroom, and also on this floor, required by state law, we have a rest area with a couch, and we've ordered a strata lounger, which will be in here, so that if anybody is sick or nauseous, they can come in here and rest and recuperate. As you can see, our employees are almost never sick during work hours. And also up here, we have a lunchroom. And our lunchroom is used mainly for the employees on the mezzanine, although we have an interesting mix. And today we have food preparations for our May Day celebration. Looks good. I'll be back here later. We have our PDC cook busily working away with an advisor. We move back down this area.
We've been doing this May Day, we think, about 16 years. I didn't know last year was our anniversary of 15, and we could have maybe really celebrated. But of course, with the move, it was a little difficult. We were lucky to even have a May Day last year. But Rock and all of us thought of that, and it turned out real nice. So we thought this year we'd like to have a king. And it's going to be Mr. Clum Sr.
Gary?
Spirited move.
It's almost perfect.
Very good.
Tape for you. Special activities will come later. I think maybe I'll leave.
Well, that was my first. I'm surprised.
Let's go the longest first. Let's go the shortest first, huh? We got 2 5-year pins. One works for you, Philip. Why don't you give it up there?
Seems like it's longer.
Dick?
Pretty good, huh?
And our other 5-year pin works for Dick. It works for him.
I get to present it to the newest mama in the group. Come on, Mama. Debbie, Matthew.
Ellie, would you like me to pin your pin on you?
Have a volunteer over here.
Look at us.
Hello. How are you doing?
5 years. Proud somebody makes you.
Although, you know, it's kind of funny is we say if you can make it 5, you can make it 10, but nobody made it 10. We go the next 15 years. And Dick, you've got another presentation. Somebody else works for you, made it 15.
I don't know how they made it.
She doesn't either.
Everybody knows Florence. Where you at?
Yay! Come on!
All right.
Florence is only 15.
Yeah, we find good sweaters here.
35 years.
Long time.
Double celebrate. You get 20-year pins almost. You don't have a big celebration.
Oh, good.
I was going to do it 35th.
It's almost 20. I came to part-time.
Works for Phillips.
Oh, yes. I own Yes, she did.
Like only 10. We have real old timers. They're young. This has been here a long time. One of them's been here 20 years. Also worked for Phillips and just recently come back to work with us.
Leave the migrant. Yeah. She retired a few years ago, but it's nice to see you back. And help us out. Juanita. separated.
Some people will do anything for a 20-year pin.
I'm burning all right.
Even one more.
Surprise!
25 years. By the way, they change color at 25. They're, what, copper until they're 25, and then they turn silver. Yeah. Do we have anybody here who's been 25 years? One person.
When do we get to the gold?
When we get to the gold milk.
You'll never see it. But they get rubies at 30, so we're doing good. But we have one.
Well, it's just a few months before me, after, I came a few months after you did. I'm down August. The month is August. That's what Miss Shackleton told me. Now, maybe she told me wrong, maybe I heard her wrong. I'm so closer, I'm just within the nets, you know.
Sooner or later, but didn't realize.
No, I believe, but didn't see you've been off a year.
Yeah.
A year on the counter. Glad to see you.
That's, again, make it real short, because I understand there's a lot of games to play and a lot of dancing to do. So happy May Day to everybody. I hope, as usual, everybody has a good time. We all get a chance to get a little closer together. And, that's all I got.
When the king and queen had started.
Yeah, dancing.
No way.
Mr. Plum, do you want to say anything?
I've said enough.
Well, you know, the king has to kind of start off the dancing and start off the game plan.
I just finished my dance.
That was it?
Yep.
We'll have a point tabulation.
You started then. If I can bring my record. Dance will dance.
I missed it by a stinking month.
Get
got some competition out there now. Yep.
We don't need anything on the floor.
No sentiment for this. No sentiment for this. I guess at least you get to hang on to it. Listen, they're just saying if you've fallen off of there, in the workman's comp report, they'd say cause of accident and dancing on the table.
I done my thing. Well, we see that's on the table.
Hey, they're sampling cigarettes.
That's mine.
Smile, you guys. They got the queen working?
Oh, no, not really.
What kind of chicken place is this?
Louis, you see his beard.
It's on him right there. Go like this. Go, give him
Louder, Ricky, we can't hear you.
What's that?
Louder.
Oh. We're talking about sport.
Tell them dirty jokes?
No, Spanish. Yeah, a couple of dirty.
Good thing they're not talking pictures.
Well, there's other people who understand Spanish too.
Give him a high five for Channel 5. A high five.
High five. John Maine, high five.
15.
There he is, zoom in. Cheers, Johnny.
Hey, Bob. Bob.
You people over there. Give him a high five for Channel 5.
She goes down to football games with that one.
Eating again, I bet.
Oh, Bev's eating. Hi there. I'm drinking. Here he is.
Well, if you're drinking, then we'll forgive you eating.
Do what?
Raise your
If you're drinking,
drink
then...
up here to my hand.
There you go. Sorry.
This is the remnants of the May Day party, huh?
Remnant. Gary. But those are forever. So over and over again.
I was in TV. That's what I saw him on the commercial. It was great. He's talking somewhere.
There's Money Willie, a young Money Willie.
Where'd Maria go? She went home. She didn't go home. Oh, she came home.
She always takes off.
Uh-oh. Well, that's leisure time now. Come on, Dick, no more over 70s.
It's a little far, right?
Over 70 what?
I like the jokes.
Years. Senior citizens.
Don't give me no horns either.
There? Here, stick this in here.
No.
Yeah.
On television.
Television.
Is this the edge of night?
Yeah. Edge of night. I don't look too tired either. Damn.
It's like a mirror. You can comb your hair in.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey, Ione.
Look at that goofy. Who's that goofy guy?
There she is. Finally.
You can always tell the warehouseman. Yeah, the camera's too away.
Come on, Maria.
Maria.
Look at this guy. Look at that guy. Look at him. See him?
You're on TV,
Yeah.
Scott.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, Johnny. If you're sitting back at home, I'd like to thank you, for all the publicity,
Yeah. You will be.
I don't want to be able to pull the room down.
I want to get through that door.
Oh, you can't.
Uh-oh.
You owe me one.
There's our token.
Yeah. No, Sam is your token. Sam's your token. Does this thing have a voice on it too?
Oh yeah, but you have to speak up. The microphone's over here.
Sam's your token.
Okay, take it easy.
So I want to make sure that everybody that watches this knows that, which you
Sam.
knows already.
Sam's our token Christian.
Sam's your token.
Token Christian.
Maybe
And I'm your token devil. All right, I'll take that.
All right.
You mean somebody get it? I don't like to be by myself now. Don't leave me by myself.
Nice seeing you.
You want to get your nephew here with me?
Win.
Hey, he handles himself, man.
I hope so.
Win, beat him.
Okay, Dick. See you.
Listen up, take a good shower. Feel all right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot. You take care of yourself. That is a nice one.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that's what Richard Pryor said. I knew I was a star.
All right, Richard. Ricky.
When I left Vietnam, I knew I was a star. He said.